Hey guys, Museman here, back with another Identity V video. In this video we're going to take a look at some of my Bloody Queen gameplay again, and so yeah, let's take a look. So before we get started, I would like to plug in my clan's Discord server for my clan Mayhem. We are currently accepting applications for both factions, so don't forget to join the server today. So now we're going to take a look at a Bloody Queen match I had on Leo's Memory. Leo's Memory is a map that a lot of hunters tend to dislike. I've heard both hunters and survivors have not liked this map before. It's a really large map, so that's one of the reasons why I like Bloody Queen there. But I'm going to go ahead and chase this priestess. When it comes to either chasing a perfumer or a priestess, unless if it's hospital, chase the priestess, because priestess can't, if they mess up, they can't just undo the hits like perfumer can. You can see that would have been an opportunity for the perfumer to be able to perfume there, and that hit might have not even counted if I chose to hit the perfumer instead. And I'd still be chasing the survivor at this point. Now, if I did choose to chase the perfumer, I probably would have thrown down my patroller a lot sooner. And I can already see where the Gravekeeper is coming from. And my job is to try to make sure that the Gravekeeper doesn't make it to the chair before half. So watch what I do here. I end up waiting for the Gravekeeper to get up. He tries pallet stunning me there, but that was just enough time for the chair to stall past half, so I'm like, okay, I can rush the rescue from here on out. I actually end up getting the Gravekeeper instead of the portal, which actually works out for me. But now all I need to do is chase the priestess here. And I end up getting a successful double hit on the priestess. So now both those survivors are going to go down. The priestess is dead on chair, so that works out for me. There's a forward here, so might want to look out for harassment, but it doesn't look like it's coming. Now, that perfumer thought I was going to walk through that pallet, and I was kind of thinking she was going to try to do a pallet stun there, so I predicted that, swung through the pallet, and now the perfumer can't use her ability anymore. And I know where the Gravekeeper is down because I saw him before, so I ended up downing the Gravekeeper here. If I was the Gravekeeper, I probably would have tried shoveling there, but honestly, he didn't really have much to go unless he decided to shoot for these pallets here. But yeah, he was kind of in a tough situation. So I'm going to break some of this environment, and I know where the perfumer is at. She was at that cipher there, but I'm going to look around, try to find where the forward might be coming from. So I end up seeing the forward right here. He's going to dash his way to the chair, and I'm going to just use my mirror here and try to stall him after half. Now, he ends up stunning me there, but I could have had an opportunity for a terror shock had he not stunned me there. But so now I'm just going to chase the Gravekeeper until he's downed. Now this forward does a nice job here. Watch what he does when he starts harassing me. I throw down my patroller like I usually do with forwards. He ends up charging into me, stunning me. And that actually allows the forward to not be patrolled, so he can still harass. Now there's 2 ciphers remaining, and it's going to take a long time for that perfumer to be able to do that many ciphers. So I'm decided that I'm going to make my way back to the chair. Down survivor, because I want to end up getting this Gravekeeper to the chair here. Now this forward keeps harassing me here. Now I totally forgot this before, during this match, but he actually used up his exit path there, which actually made it so that I could wait pretty much as long as I could for that. Now, they still got 1 cipher remaining there, but this perfumer really needs to go for a rescue. So you can see the perfumer makes her way over here, ends up getting the Gravekeeper healed, hit the Gravekeeper there, and I'm gonna go ahead and use my mirror here. And I know I'm gonna down somebody, so I end up downing the forward here. That's all good. I'm gonna take the forward to the chair again. And now you pretty much just repeat. I'm going to look for where these survivors are now. These survivors, all they're really doing is the best that they can do at this point because they're both injured. The best they can do is just kind of trade each other out until they're hopefully able to complete a cipher here. Now, I didn't want that perfumer to go back there because that would have given her an opportunity to rescue. But either way, the Gravekeeper did. And now the perfumer is down, so I'm going to take the perfumer to the chair. You can see what they're doing is just kind of trading each other off. Now, what they're probably doing here is they're either decoding that cipher or they're healing, but either way, I don't foresee that they're going too far away from that area. And I kind of recognize that right now. And you can see they're healing there. I'm sticking to the chair. But I end up seeing them healing there, and I want to disrupt that. So I see the Gravekeeper's there. I down the Gravekeeper. And I was expecting the forward to come for the chair, so I end up downing the forward nice and easily. So that's the end of game one. Now we get to a more, I would say, ideal map for hunters, which is Arms Factory. Arms Factory is arguably Bloody Queen's strongest map. Another map that I like using Bloody Queen on is actually Lakeside, because there's so many broken mirror spawns. I find that a lot of portions of the map work kindly to her abilities. And this priestess is just running away from me right now. And watch what I do here. I'm going to chase her around the corner. She ends up portaling, and I'm able to come around for an easy down. So priestess, this isn't really a strong map for a priestess. It's relatively smaller, and a lot of these areas tend to be more tight kiting routes, which tends to usually favor other characters. And for some reason there was a lucky guy in this match. I'm not quite sure what that was about. Maybe they forgot to switch or something. Now, I think I was just trying to bait the perfume out. Wow, I was kind of surprised that hit him anyways. I hit the lucky guy there, and that's all good. I'm gonna still target the priestess here though, because I want to secure this down. So, kind of meet her over on the other side. She gets lucky vaulting now. That could have been, that was really close to a terror shock, honestly. So now the priestess makes her way around. And if she tried vaulting that window there, I definitely would have hit her. And I think she kind of recognized that, so she ended up trying to see if I would still go for that window, but I end up downing the priestess a second time. Now, presumably the forward's going to come for a rescue, but I've still got my wanted order on the lucky guy, so that allows me to mirror over to that cipher and down the lucky guy. And I didn't think anybody was going to rescue the priestess, so I'm going to go ahead and put the lucky guy on the chair. You can see I was right. Nobody's coming for the rescue. And now the priestess is eliminated. Now, I didn't know the perfumer was around the corner. I thought this was where the rescue was planning to be coming from. So I was like, keep him away from the chair. But I was like, wait, there was a rescue here. And I actually end up hitting the forward here. So sometimes you can, especially in later rounds, you can get away with not necessarily sticking to the first down. After you get that first survivor eliminated, you can focus on just dishing a bunch of damage. And that'll make it so that they can't decode because they need to heal up and stuff. And yeah, so that was the second time we saw that trick with the forward where he uses his stun to counter my patroller, which normally counters forward. So you can see they're trying to heal up here the perfumer's going to body block, let the forward get away. And I'm going to go ahead and chase the perfumer for a little bit. And the perfumer's making her way over there. Now, I don't want to waste too much time on her. No, I don't think she was expecting that to hit, but it did. And I was able to get an easy hit off the perfumer because of that. And the forward actually ended up doubling back to that cipher. And I saw it wiggling there, so I mean, I just kind of made my way over there. And so I downed the forward in 3 pallet before he was able to seriously dash away, because I spawned the mirror right on top of him. But now, it looks like the lucky guy was decoding that cipher. And I'm going to go ahead and make my way over there. Now, he had a flare gun there, but a flare gun is basically a free rescue against every hunter except probably Feaster, honestly. Feaster is the only one that has a shot against a flare gun there, because you can use the tentacles to body block it. I'd say Feaster is the only like specific counter to Coordinator or a lucky guy with a flare gun going for a rescue. But I end up downing the forward again, and at this point they really need to heal up if they want to try rescuing. There's 3 ciphers left, so there's still a lot of decoding that they need to do. And that lucky guy ends up using a football there. Now the perfumer ends up self-healing here, so I'm able to take the lucky guy to the chair. I don't think that anybody's going to rescue the forward, so I'm going to go ahead and take him to the chair anyways. Now, of course, if this was tournament gameplay, I would be slugging the lucky guy, and for those of you that don't know, that's basically just a term that we use to say we would probably just let him bleed out on the ground, so we'd have as much time as we can to do whatever we need. So, look, I'm just looking for all the dungeon spawns. And being that it's a perfumer, she's going to be able to usually... at this point, got an idea that she's probably going to get dungeon, because it's hard to get double hits like that as a bloody queen. You have to be either know where they're coming from, or you have to be like really lucky. And the perfumer actually makes her way over here, and I end up getting the first hit on the perfumer, but as predicted, she's going to get the dungeon. Of course, if I was slugging the lucky guy, I would have been able to have an opportunity to take out the perfumer and put her to the chair first, and do that game where you just kind of trading them back and forth between them using exit path. So now we're going to take a look at the final match, which is on Leo's memory. So we're going to kind of go back where we started here, and I make my way over here. Now my tinnitus is going off, and I decide, okay, I'm going to, obviously whoever's here doesn't want to be found. And I actually end up hitting the prisoner there. So the prisoner was trying to hide from me. That actually kind of worked out to my advantage, because he was in such a bad area to kite that I'm able to get a super easy first down there. And of course the thank you spam is ever present, because that's what happens with Survivor randoms. Yay! There's a priestess, a perfumer, a mercenary, so at this point I would predict that the merc is going to be the one going for the rescue. You can see by the quick chat there, the merc is planning on going for that rescue there. Now I'm going to go ahead and mirror over here, and I end up sort of getting that survivor that's over there kind of off of that cipher there. Now I get a first hit on the mercenary, and the mercenary is able to pull off that rescue. And honestly, I think this prisoner decided it was a poor choice to make his way back over here. And now I'm able to swing right through there and down and get the hit on the prisoner. And of course, the thank you spams are still there, because once again, Survivor randoms. We're going to make a way back to the same chair. This is arguably probably the worst chair in this map for survivors. I don't think it'd be over-exaggerating for me to say that. That was honestly not the best mirror I've ever done, but it still kind of got pretty close. Now, I kind of knew that nobody would be going for the rescue because the prisoner kited for so little. But I'm going to make my way back just to double check. And yeah, nobody's going for that rescue there. So now I'm able to sort of make my way to another cipher. And I hear this one's being decoded, so I'm going to make my way over here. And there's this god pallet here that I was wondering if the perfumer was trying to camp. Now against a perfumer, patroller, just like I usually do. And I end up getting the patroller on the perfumer there. Now of course the perfumer is going to be dropping that pallet. I'm going to wait till that perfume runs out. Patroller is really tough on a perfumer there. I ended up waiting till the perfume ran out, and then I ended up hitting the perfumer. I think that's the third time we've seen thank yous in this match. Oh my goodness, these survivors. Woo! Alright, I get the perfumer there. Oh, there's another thank you. There's another thank you. Okay, so now we're going to take the perfumer to the chair. Now, at this point, the priestess is probably the one that's going to want to make a rescue here. So, there's not really any ciphers over in that area, so, but I didn't really know that none of them were decoding it right there for sure. So, I see that the rescue happened, but what I'm really most concerned about is making sure I keep these survivors off the ciphers. Because, you know, cipher pop is really tough to deal with. So I end up running into a lot of objects here doing that mirror, but I end up chasing the mercenary for a little while. And of course he's able to zoom away there. And I was looking out for where the decoding was happening. And no survivors are decoding here, which means I can pretty much just mirror to this other cipher, and at least one of the other survivors should be in that area. And we can see we have found the perfumer. So now the perfumer is going down again. I think that's the fourth thank you. The mercenary's got a little bit of progress on the chair. Yeah, that's pretty much why I like stopped ranking survivor, because everybody would get really upset with you if you ended up having a bad match or whatever. But yeah, plus I don't really have many people to team with, and like randoms are tough. So watch what I do here. I end up getting a hit on the priestess. Now to make sure she can't get to the chair in time, I'm gonna go ahead and throw a patroller down. And the priestess did end up going for the rescue. Oh, more thank you spams times 5, I guess. The priestess is over here, and I down the priestess. Now the cipher pop happens, but ultimately I know this is a 3-man here, because I'm chasing the last survivor, and unless she ends up being lucky and getting dungeon at the last second, this is an obvious 3-man here. So I was just waiting for my mirror cooldown to end, and I downed the priestess there. And that is a 3-man here. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and take the priestess to the chair. And yeah, so you saw how I was able to dish out some damage there. And I hope you all found this video useful and learned some tips. And that's the game. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that video. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time.